day 2, albeit 4 days later. I have brought the van this time because I couldn't get delivery. No one had stock of the oak sleepers apart from somewhere near us, so I've actually picked them up myself and brought them up in the van. So we'll take a look at those once it's unlocked. So that is what over a ton in weight of solid oak looks like. This is European oak and it's just the landscaping grade. Otherwise this would have been somewhat more expensive. They're 200mm wide, 100mm tall, or basically 8x4, and they are 2.4 metre lengths. So these worked out, I think they were £24, £25. You shop around because there are loads of suppliers. They're basically all coming from the same place in Europe or similar places. But the prices over here do vary quite a bit. But £25 is a pretty good price for this number anyway. And I did use very, very similar, if not identical, green oak in our patio project last year. And I'll link to that below because some of you might not have seen that. We used them on their sides, completely different method, but again one that works really well, and I was really pleased with the outcome. We're using these vertically, so it's going to be a lot more cutting and woodwork, but the overall look should be quite nice because we can curve the corners. So the first job, basically all day tomorrow, I'm just going to be working on the timbers, so don't need to touch any of the digging or the landscaping inside of it. It's just going to be the timbers. So it's going to be a scorcher of a day tomorrow. I'm going to set up a pop-up gazebo, the old one from home, out here to give me some shade. I didn't bring any sawhorses because I figured I've got enough timber here. I'll just stack, a couple and kind of make a bench for myself out of these. Right, so whilst I'm hatching a plan of how I'm going to set myself up, I'll just run through what I've brought up with me. Because, obviously I haven't got all my stuff to hand like I would if I was doing this at home. So I've packed what I think I'll need, and hopefully I'm going to manage to get everything done tomorrow. Chainsaw, the Makita chainsaw worked great for the work that I was doing when I built ours. Great for rough cuts, but actually leaves you with a pretty good square finish. So hopefully that's the way to go, because it's much quicker. Framing square so I can map out all the cuts before we go ahead and do them. Little electric planer, just for either for doing the corners. I want to take off all the corners, so I'll either use this or I'll use the router with a chamfer bit in it. Circular saw. It might be that the circular saw is the way I go. It depends. It's a good blade in there, but it won't obviously cut all the way through, so you end up needing to be pretty accurate to get a cut without any stepping in it. There's a little Japanese, well, quite a big Japanese handsaw there. Haven't tried that before, but that's an option. The gazebo, the old one from home, because it's going to be a scorcher of a day tomorrow, so that'll give me some shade to work under. Sack truck's pretty handy for moving the sleepers around. A few tools if I need to do any digging. Boots, chainsaw, safety stuff, and basic tools in there as well. First job is get the gazebo up and try and make some sort of rig of sleepers like sawhorses to do all our cutting on. ton of oak moved, shifted and placed under the gazebo. I've tried to build some sort of workstation here just by stacking some at the bottom to give me a level surface, raising the other bits up, and then I've got 8 to start me off, 8 up on top to work on. It's a bit more of a manageable height to use the chainsaw and make sure I'm nowhere near the block work on the driveway. So I've got 2 options really. One, what I was kind of thinking about on the way up. One is to use the chainsaw as planned to make cross cuts on single sleepers. I'll just pull one down at a time onto the kind of the 3 below. The other option is to line kind of 4 up at a time, snap a line or use the framing square to mark out a square cut, and then use the circular saw with a guide and just run it through with several passes, getting deeper and deeper, and then I can cut 4 at a time. The only problem with that is that of course I'll then have to flip them all round, and then you've got the issue of making sure that both cuts line up perfectly. So I'm moving towards kind of the chainsaw route, but at least everything's set up for me, ready to start in the morning. A few more bits to do. One is to just lash down the gazebo down to the sleepers. Obviously they're heavy enough. It just means if the wind picks up overnight it's not going anywhere.